You're out and about with Gene Saliter for WHDD Radio, RobinHoodRadio.com. I am here at I believe it's the 5th annual Sharon Classic Car Concours at Christ Church Episcopal on South Main Street in Sharon. And I am talking to Andy in front of his gorgeous red Aston Martin. Andy, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good, good. What brings you to Sharon in your gorgeous car?
Well, the wonderful roads and wonderful people.
Great. Where are you coming from?
Well, I have a place here in Sharon and also in the West Village in Manhattan.
Excellent. Where does your Aston Martin live?
Oh, it lives right here in Sharon.
Good.
It loves the fresh air.
A little bit about the car. Is there a name for that beautiful color red?
That is a factory color, and they called it Fiesta Red.
Fiesta Red. I like it. What year is this beauty?
1963.
1963. It's older than I am, Andy.
And older than I am.
All right.
Maybe.
We'll stick with that because it's radio. It's safe. Tell us a little bit about some of the details that we were discussing earlier about the coils and things like the little details that you were talking about in the bug guard. I think is fascinating.
Well, the bug guard gets a lot of attention, and it was a factory option, and it really works. And if there's a buggy day, at the end of the ride, I can scrape off all the bugs that are not on the windshield, which the Brits would call the windscreen.
Oh, very good, the windscreen. And what is this? What's the logo that we were talking about on the side of the hood?
The logo on the side of what they would call the bonnet, says Superleggera. And what that means is that the design of the frame was on patent from Touring of Milan, and Aston Martin paid them a royalty to use their tubular structure to build the body. And part of the agreement was they had to have that signature logo on the bonnet to indicate who it is that owned the patent.
Fascinating. Now you showed me a decal on the windscreen, and then I see a couple of emblems here in the front. This is a race car. This was on street races.
Well, the car is kind of a road track car.
Aha.
It was built for both, and the decal on the windscreen is from having attended the races in the Bahamas in 1997. And that was a retrospective for very famous races that were done back in the 50s and attracted world-class drivers. And so this car was brought by a prior owner in the 90s back to the Bahamas to participate in a recreation of the famous event. And the badges on the front, let me see.
Is that called a grill, or do they
yes,
have a name for that?
They are mounted on the grill. And the middle one shows membership in the Aston Martin Owners Club. The one next to it with the big V is from the Vintage Sports Car Club of America, which are wonderful people with wonderful cars from pre-war right through December 31st, 1959.
Oh, wow.
But this car, being a 63, qualifies because the early versions of the same car were made in 1959. So even as a 1963, it's eligible. And the one on the right is for participation at the hill climb of Mount Equinox outside of Manchester, Vermont.
Wow, this car has seen some fascinating places, from Vermont mountains to the Bahamas.
And lived to tell the tale, and always kept the shiny side up.
Nice, nice. And where are you taking your car next? Do you do a lot of these kind of car shows?
No, mostly I just drive around and enjoy it.
Good.
But I was happy to bring it out and share it with people, and I was hoping there'd be a lot of kids here, but because when I was a kid, I loved to see the old cars. And there were a few, but not too many.
Yeah,
today.
we were commenting down the aisle here about that. There are little kids. It's a little bit sad. I hope they're all busy doing something somewhere. But this was a great turnout. I think there were almost 30 cars.
Yeah, there were a lot
Fantastic.
of fabulous cars and even a bunch of pre-war cars, not to mention a pre-war fire engine.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to ride in that. I don't know if it's too late or not.
Well, when we wrap up, we should go over there before he takes off.
All right, that's a solid plan. Let's wrap up. All right, this is Gene.
And the best part before you go, Gene, is we've got to get him to crank up the siren. It's a hand-cranked siren, and it sounds wonderful, like right out of an old movie.
Definitely. Let's go do that now. Andy, thank you for your time. This is Gene signing out for WHDD.